Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic the Gathering. This is a chance at revenge. Death Shadow versus Blue-Red Delver. We've run it once. This is the top 4 of the final Dual Land tournament at Scholars. Rarely do I want to win a tournament as much as this. I love winning historic events with significance to me, and this is certainly one of them. Had quite a path to get here. Whole bunch of shenanigans. I had the bye. Played against a very new player. Was able to show him quite a bit about Death Shadow and about the format in general. Great to see him stepping in from Modern. Did some trades with them after. This was a very unorthodox path to get here. Arnie beat me in the win and in. And here we are. He has sideboard cards in his main deck. He is down a card. And Grim Lavamancer starting out. Good versus Delver. Not amazing versus anything else. And there's a Wasteland on that volcanic island. Beating the Delver. And Delver just swings for one, a Wasteland of his own. Underground Sea also gets Wastelanded. Brainstorm is thrown out. Grim Lavamancer just going face here. No mana to accompany him. I mean, he is going to just go face, period. He is not a Deathrite Shaman. Those resources are finite. Going to want to keep those cards in the graveyard to get rid of Delvers or to get rid of players toward the end of the game. Not really just going to expend those resources carelessly. Ponder keeps. And still no land. Fetching, going to 15 and then 13. One more hit and we'll have some 1/1 Death Shadows available. But Gurmag Angler, that's great. Force of Will from Arnie Days. Force of Will again. Floating a blue and dazing. And that is pretty brutal. Finally a land for Arnie off the top. Gurmag swings. And this is 3-turn territory. Fetching. Getting dangerously close to 2-turn territory. Wasteland on that Underground Sea. Watery Grave going to 9. Sending 5. Very close here. Sending. We see a block and shock. It is exactly that. That's going to keep his fetch lands alive for any potential Fire Blast finish or Price of Progress, which might be part of this final 5 damage. Delver comes down, presenting lethal. Bolt on the Delver. Arnie goes to 1. Force of Will has been shut off, and that is it for game 1. So 1 game closer to the finals. Cannot think of a time that I've wanted to win a tournament more than this, and just 1 game away potentially. Would be particularly sweet to get revenge for the Swiss rounds. I always kind of feel like if you lose to someone in the Swiss and you win in the top 8, it kind of vindicates that earlier loss. It's like, that was a fluke. Whoever's the last man standing, I think, kind of has that extra credibility, so to speak. Like in boxing or MMA, when people have a trilogy fight, whoever wins the trilogy, the odd fight out is kind of looked at as a fluke. So always a fan of getting those wins back. Just feels nice. See what Arnie can do. He will be on the play. He will not be down a card from incorrect sideboarding. That was definitely helpful in game 1. Taking a look at his 7, thinking about it. Definitely some considerations out of the sideboard. Him to Torok, very interesting versus this type of deck. Flusterstorm is potentially a card that can be problematic to play around when you're resolving things like creature removal. It can just be a little bit of a thorn in your side just because you can't trade 1-for-1 with it. It really is a trump to certain things. Now, mercifully, those things are not your main game plan. Death Shadow really is more about sticking threats, but there are times where you need to get their creatures off of the board, and Him to Torok can play a role there. You can use Thoughtseize and Him to clear their hand and then make sure that you can actually dominate the board because these windows are so tight. Once you're pushing down on your own life total with shock lands and fetch lands, you do put yourself in a situation where their burn can, either kill you or really, their burn can either kill you or your creature removal needs to get rid of their guys. Force of Will on Monastery Swiftspear off of a basic mountain here. Looks like after last game, respecting the basics a bit more. Wasteland was hugely problematic there. Ponder. And it's good enough. Grim Lavamancer. The guy has done a lot of work here so far in this tournament. Some beautiful full art altars. Pair of Underground Seas here. Into Him to Torok. Leaving with just 1 card in hand. Getting rid of another land and perhaps Pyroblast. I couldn't tell what that one was. It is in the bin. And Lavamancer back to token in there for 1. Wasteland comes down. And Gurmag Angler. Leaving Wasteland open. Potentially get his land, potentially get one of my lands in response to Price of Progress. Chain Lightning. And Lava Man. So double teaming up to take out that Gurmag. Thoughtseize here gets rid of Flusterstorm. And whether or not to Wasteland is the question. Wasteland would potentially, it complicates things. So if you hit Volcanic Island there when he fetches, he kind of has to fetch another Volcanic, which is not great. Also would have broken up this Brainstorm fetch play. So perhaps better to just Wasteland. Would have been the same either way for this casting of Gurmag Angler. Oh, and Vapor Snag. Oh, there's one argument for keeping the Wasteland around. That can be tapped the second time around. It can't be exiled both times. So this is getting a little dicey here. Grim Lavamancer pushing closer and closer to lethal. Death Shadow. Arnie's still at 20. Let's see here. So could potentially go to 0 lands in response to a Price of Progress. 2 Wastelands and a fetch land here. So could actually waste my 2 Undergrounds and fetch find nothing. So Price of Progress gonna be tougher to win with. There's the Ponder. Arnie digging for some burn here. Not a long way to go to the finish line here in game 2. You really just need some burn. And here we are in those interesting endgame sequences for Death Shadow. One turn away potentially. There's a Delver of Secrets. That fetch land could put us to 3. If he's got Lightning Bolt, that'll be game. Ponder. Pops right to the front of the pack there. Keeps it. Another fetch. Wasteland. Jump block happens. Walking away. There's a Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt would put us to 1. Fire Blast as an out has been removed. And Dazing the Bolt. Vapor Snag. So Dazing Bolt actually kept us alive here. Vapor Snag puts that Death Shadow back in hand. A combination of the 1 from Vapor Snag and the 3 from Bolt would have been lethal. But there's a couple of fetch lands on board here. Or there's a fetch land on board, Watery Grave, and a Wasteland. So cannot get rid of all of the lands. Going to 2. Perhaps Underground Sea is in hand. It is. 3 mana, Gurmag Angler. Passing the turn. And there's the Price of Progress. No more counters. And Arnie takes down game number 2. So Vapor Snag buying him that crucial extra turns. Funny how important that card was there. That 1 point of life making all the difference. If it wasn't for Vapor Snag, letting Lightning Bolt resolve could have been great. Would have had the days to stop the Price of Progress. So things coming together beautifully there for Arnie down the stretch. This is what it's all about, finding a way into the finals of the final dual land tournament here at Scholars. Rarely have I wanted a tournament more than this one. On the other side of the top 8 will be Rodney on World Gorger Dragon. A long history with Rodney, known him a long time. Arnie, however, is in my way. He is mulling to 6, trying, put things on the bottom. Misty Rainforest is an opener with no action off of it. Monastery Swift Spear, he's a fetch. That basic mountain again showing a lot of respect for the Wasteland impact from our previous matches, as well as his other testing. And coming out swinging here, down to 10 already. Arnie with just a mountain on board, and we've got a pair of 3/3s that could actually just end the game here. Grim Lavamancer, Monastery Swift Spear, pass. Death Shadow really accelerating this whole situation. Play a land for turn. Looks like Thoughtseize is an option. Starting out with Brainstorm. Force of Will, no blue card. It looks like Snuff Out is in hand. Thinking about this Brainstorm, this could be the match right here. So many things to consider. Fire Blast, one of them. Price of Progress. The way that all of the different spells could potentially accumulate. Push through lethal here. And Hymn to Torok. Only 3 cards in Arnie's hand. This is looking absolutely fantastic. He keeps 1, loses Wasteland and Brainstorm. So just 1 card left in hand. A pair of 6/6 Death Shadow. Definitely going to swing. Now there's Snuff Out in hand. That could be lethal here. So depending on if he blocks here, this is going to be the match. There's Snuff Out in hand. No blocks. Grim Lavamancer. Oh, and the last card is Fire Blast. Oh no, that is it. It goes down in flames. That is the end of the run for me. Fire Blast is the last card after the Hymn to Torok, and Arnie moves on to the finals. That's all for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please help grow the channel by subscribing. You'll be notified when we upload new videos like Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic with commentary, or Untapped, our raw tournament gameplay. Thanks for watching.